He lived for 10 years inside an abandoned mine. Without electricity, running water, or contact with the outside world, when he was finally found, there was gold in his backpack. What drove him to disappear underground? Sergei was 47 years old. He came from a small settlement in the Ural Mountains. Before his disappearance, he worked as an engineer for a construction company. An ordinary man. Nothing about him stood out. A divorce, a mortgage, endless pressure to earn more money. At some point, Sergei simply walked out of his office and vanished. Years later, he would say, "I didn't run away, I was searching for silence." He disappeared in 2013. That day, he just never came back from work. His family reported him missing. Search efforts led nowhere. 2 months later, the case was archived. It was as if Sergei had evaporated, but in reality, he went deep underground into an abandoned mine he had known since childhood. The mine was not just a tunnel, it was a vast underground labyrinth. Old wooden supports, collapsed passages, spider webs, constant dampness and cold. The temperature inside stayed around 6 degrees C year-round. Sergei settled in one of the deeper chambers, a small stone niche naturally protected from collapses. He built a sleeping platform from old boards and wooden crates. To stay warm, he used layers of clothing and sleeping bags brought in over several trips. His food was simple: canned goods, grains, mushrooms. Everything was brought in advance in batches. Water came from condensation and small underground springs. Sometimes he lowered a bucket into an old well. Most of the time he relied on natural moisture. He believed he would survive. He just didn't expect to remain underground for 10 years. Life underground was hard. Injured legs, infections, vision problems caused by constant darkness. Once a year he went to the surface, always at night, far from populated areas. Each time he chose a different exit point. He avoided being seen, he erased his tracks, he feared being found. The discovery happened by accident. While clearing a collapsed side tunnel, the rock gave way. Among the debris he noticed a metallic glint. Gold mixed with quartz. Later, emergency services confirmed that the mine had passed through a gold vein that was never fully explored in the past. Sergei didn't know how valuable it was. He simply collected the pieces, put them into his backpack, again and again. Experts later estimated that he had gathered between 8 and 10 kilograms of gold, mostly natural nuggets. Why didn't he sell it? Even he couldn't fully explain it. "Let it stay," he said, "for old age." When rescuers finally found him, he carried about 4 kilograms in his backpack. The rest had been hidden in different parts of the mine, but later became inaccessible due to collapses. Emergency services were alerted by urban explorers who heard sounds deep inside the mine. Sergei wasn't shouting, he simply dropped a metal object. The echo carried through the tunnels. Police were skeptical at first, then they sent a team. They were stunned. He looked like a mirage, one rescuer recalled. Thin with a long beard, but calm and confident. He didn't ask for help, he just said, "I'm ready to come out." Sergei was not insane, not a prophet, not a fanatic. He was exhausted, working endlessly, counting every coin, losing his family. At some point, he realized that the constant rush would not save him. "The city consumes you while you feed it with taxes," he said during questioning. He read philosophy, studied stoicism. He was inspired by books about solitude, survival, and nature. He didn't see himself as a hermit, but as a seeker. Living underground isn't madness, it's a choice. I chose silence over noise, calm over constant haste. Medical evaluations found no reason for forced treatment. No criminal charges were filed. The gold was legally classified as a geological find, a complex definition, but one that allowed him to keep part of it. Today, Sergei lives in a small forest cabin. He avoids attention, rarely shows his face. Local residents say he helps the sick, delivers supplies, never drinks, never causes trouble. He lives quietly. He uses money carefully: books, tools, building materials. He plans to build a winter shelter and grow medicinal herbs. He is calm. He's never regretted leaving. He's never wanted to return to the city. Emergency officials initially thought the case was fake. Records were checked, archives matched. Everything was real. This story is not about gold. It is about a man who walked into darkness and found peace within it. Would you be able to live underground for 10 years for such a discovery? Or was he simply a madman who got lucky? Write your thoughts in the comments.